Hey guys, welcome to Imagine 2020, and more importantly for all our Kiwi friends, level 2. My name is Gareth. I'm the vendor business manager for Juniper at Westcon, and welcoming you today to our session. Before I hand over, just a quick one on the Q&A to please keep them coming through. We will try and answer all the questions during the session or after if there is time, but there is a $150 Noel Leeming Prezi card up for grabs, so please interact as much as possible. I'd like to now hand you over to Matt Fowler, who's a system engineer from MIST, based in Australia, and he's going to be taking us through the AI-driven access with MIST today. Over to you, Matt.
Great. Thanks, Gareth, and thank you, everyone, for joining me. As mentioned, my name's Matt Fowler, and I lead the team of systems engineers for the MIST part of Juniper's business across the Asia-Pacific region. Over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you an overview of our AI-driven access offering across Juniper's Wi-Fi and switching portfolio. Really talking about the next generation network that's focused on using AI and machine learning to provide actionable insights into the network. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're seeing four major areas of change that IT are having to deal with at the moment, particularly when it comes to the access layer network. The first is around assurance, and that's about delivering business critical services across networks that are predictable, that are measurable, and that are reliable. At MIST, we have large global customers, and particularly those that operate in a distributed environment running critical services. And the image that you can see there is a warehouse that has robotic devices that move goods between incoming and dispatch through that facility. And what we found when talking to customers like this one is that while a user might be able to tell you that, Wi-Fi sucks or they can't connect to the Wi-Fi network, a robot can't. And so having the network be intelligent enough to understand and provide feedback on the quality of the connection is mission critical for these businesses. In this example, if those robots can't communicate, they stop. And that can be millions of dollars an hour in lost revenue because of that outage. The second one that we're seeing is that IT wants more insight into the network, and up is not the same as good anymore. It's no longer good enough to show that an access point or a switch is connected to the network and is operating. It's no longer good enough to understand, are my users connected to the network? It's about what is the quality of their experience? Are they having a good time on the network? Are their applications working? Are they actually able to conduct their business? The fourth thing we see is around automation. The overwhelming majority of network incidents are because of human error. So particularly when it comes to moves, adds, deletions, and changes, machines should configure machines. And so that means you need a platform that has a 100% coverage API so that machines can do those changes and therefore prevent human-related input errors. The fourth thing that we're seeing is around providing more relevance from the network. And that might be delivering personalized engagement in a retail setting where you might welcome a customer. You might offer an application that allows them to request assistance so that nearby team members can go and help them. It might be wayfinding to find the nearest available meeting room. And potentially in today's climate, it could be used for using location-based services for contact tracing, understanding who is in each particular meeting room or quadrant of a floor or zone, and then being able to trace back and see who else was in that zone at the same time, how long were they there. It's about providing peace of mind to employees as they start to come back to work. So that seems to be a big one that IT is having to deal with at the moment. Overall, the two key trends we're seeing is that the edge is now wireless. I mean, for a lot of enterprises across Australia and New Zealand, this is already the case, but we're seeing that more and more. We're also seeing that AI is becoming essential to IT. As you start to deploy networks that have the ability to collect telemetry data, it's not enough to have a human sift through that telemetry data, find patterns. That's where you need IT. That's where you need machine learning in order to process and understand that data that's coming in. So at Juniper and MIST, we've been very successful in a very short period of time, given that we're a relatively new entrant into the Wi-Fi space. We've been shipping product for 4 years, acquired by Juniper last April. 3 of the Fortune 10 standardized on MIST, 25 of the Fortune 500, and across Australia and New Zealand, we've seen some of the largest and most well-known companies shift across to MIST as well. And there's 4 main reasons for this. First of all, visibility into the end user device. So that's having the ability to see service levels, both pre and post connection. Pre-connection, looking at, are users connecting successfully? Are they connecting in a time that's reasonable? Now, are they taking 2 seconds to connect? Are they taking 4 seconds to connect? And are they having a good onboarding experience? And then once they're connected, are they getting good coverage? Are they getting good capacity? Are they roaming between access points well? And so it's providing those insights that up until now haven't been available in the Wi-Fi and networking space. The second is around a service that's delivered from the cloud, but is built on a modern cloud stack. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, right now, as I'm talking and as I'm going to do the demo, our cloud is going through a production push. So our cloud is built on a microservices architecture that allows us to do weekly production pushes. So Thursday morning, Australia, New Zealand time, we do a production push to our cloud. That means that we can be agile to new needs from our customers as new capabilities are required. It also means that we can be on top very quickly of security vulnerabilities and patching that's needed. This modern cloud stack also allows us to ingest and process real-time data so that as we're streaming telemetry of the client health from our access points and our switches, we're doing that in real time. There's no storing and forwarding. It's streamed asynchronously. And that becomes important when we start to look at some of the AI and the machine learning that I talk about. The third is around using that data that's being streamed in real time and having an interface that allows a non-expert to access that. So that's what our AI-driven operations and support really focuses on. A natural language processing interface that allows a level 1 help desk user to ask, who are the unhappy users, and troubleshoot and understand what's going on. For one of our large global customers, this resulted in what used to be 100 tickets per month on Wi-Fi issues, dropping down to 2 tickets per month, just by being proactive using these AI-driven operations. And the fourth reason is around those location-based services. Now, that might be with our patented virtual Bluetooth technology, where you can get 1 to 3 meter level of accuracy to an end user without the need for physical battery-based beacons. But it might be for analytics, such as the contact tracing use cases that I mentioned before. Architecturally, there's a big difference between what MIST is offering compared to what you might be more familiar with from vendors such as Cisco or Aruba, particularly in the Wi-Fi and access switching space. With those on-premise technologies, you've got many boxes to manage, and that's not just about deploying. Think about the serviceability, the patching. A new access point model comes out, or a new feature that you want, where you've got to upgrade their wireless LAN controller, you've got to upgrade the management system, you've got to upgrade the location engine and maybe the SDN controller, because there's a complex version dependency matrix that must be followed. Conversely, with MIST, it's all based in the cloud using a microservices architecture. You have the access point or the access switch. It connects via the internet to our cloud, and we take care of all of those services. So it's a cloud-driven service. When it comes to AI, this has been a journey for us, and it really starts with collecting the right data, being able to stream that data in real time so that it becomes relevant and actionable, packaging that in a service level view or our AI primitives, having a data science toolbox that allows you to root cause each individual problem, including anomaly detection, and then having a virtual assistant on top of that that allows that data to be accessed easily. And that's really what I'm going to show in the demo, that virtual assistant. What we're now doing is taking those insights from our AI engine and self-driving. So we're doing that in a number of ways, providing an action-based framework so that when the AI detects an issue, it gives you advice on what you do. And in some cases, it actually automatically remediates that particular issue. And I'll show you some examples of that in the demo too. Now, this is not just for Wi-Fi. So while MIST started as a Wi-Fi company, we now have the ability to have insights into the wired network as well. And we're taking this in a multi-pronged approach. So in the nature of being open, with any vendor switch, we can get details via LLDP on things like PoE usage, version mismatches, missing VLANs. So if you've got a Wi-Fi network with an SSID in VLAN 5, we can actually determine on the upstream switch if that VLAN isn't being passed down the switch, missing from the trunk or missing from the switch altogether. We get deeper insights using the Juniper EX switches, where we can stream the rich Junos telemetry back into our AI engine. And that allows us to get insights into the wide user experience. Are they connecting okay? What's the health of my switching infrastructure? Is there any congestion or MTU mismatches or bad cabling that is causing issues in the wired network? What you'll see from us going forward is expanding this into the Juniper SD-WAN and Juniper Data Center, so that MIST will deliver the AI engine across the entire enterprise. And given that the wired integration has been done in less than a year since acquisition, these things will come quickly as well. So from a platform perspective, we have a number of wireless access points, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, indoor, outdoor. We've got a range of EX access switches that connect back to the MIST cloud, and there's then basically a subscription-based service that you sign up to. What this means is day one, you could just deploy Wi-Fi, and then the business might come back to you and say, we need to understand where people are in our environment for analytics. You can add those location-based services on later. What I might do is show you this in action. So what you're seeing here is a live view of our system. As I mentioned, we're currently going through a production push, so you'll see the experience of when that's happening. This first screen shows an overview of the service levels, and it allows you to understand what are my pre and post-connection health metrics for my wireless, and of course also my wired network at the top here. So we're streaming this data back from our access points and switches. I have the ability to click on each one of these and root cause what is going on with each one of those service levels. What I'm going to show you today, though, is Marvis. So Marvis allows me to access that same level of detail through those service levels, but it allows me to do it using natural language. So put yourself in the position of a level 1 help desk agent that might be straight out of tertiary education. Instead of them having to know how to navigate a UI, all they have to know is how to ask a question. So I could ask a question, who are the unhappy users at a particular site, in this case, live demo? And it translates that understanding that what I'm asking for is rank the users that are having the most problems. So I mentioned that customer that reduced their incoming ticket volume from 100 a month to 2 per month. They just got their help desk to run this query, ask Marvis this question every morning, find out who the users are that are having problems, click on them, troubleshoot, and then understand what is going on with that particular user. So here you can see Marvis is going ahead and troubleshooting. It's identified very quickly that there's a DHCP problem causing failure attempts. And by the way, there's also a coverage issue that's affecting this client, but is likely affecting other clients. Down below here, we, in plain English, say that there's a limited RF capacity in the 2.4 gigahertz band. Here's my successful connection issue where there's DHCP failures. And so I can then, as a level 1 help desk, triage this problem. I need someone to look at the RF capacity, right? So send that to the architectural network team. I also need to understand what's going on with this DHCP server. So maybe I engage the server team there. Of course, I can also investigate this myself. I can see by the service levels options here when the problem was happening, the time, and the number of failures. And I can even get down to see the actual events. So I mentioned that we're streaming this data in real time. So here's my DHCP timeout. And quite powerfully, I've automatically got a packet capture that I can download, which provides me a PCAP that can be opened in Wireshark. As you can see, it's downloaded there, that I can investigate. So what this means is, instead of having to ask a user to reproduce a problem, it's already captured. I've got the historical event list of all of the issues that this particular client has had. I've also automatically got a packet capture available to me. So I don't have to go to site and start a capture. I also don't have to ask the user to reproduce the problem and put the access point in a special sniffer mode. This really eases the operational burden of managing a really large network. So that's just a taste of what the MIST platform is capable of. Reach out to your Westcon contact if you want to see a much longer demo. Typically, we can do a 90-minute demo, but there's a taste for you of what's available. And we've been recognized in the industry through Gartner's Peer Insights, which we're very proud of. We're very proud of this because it's the customer's choice. And that means that Juniper MIST's customers have actually rated us the highest of any of the vendors that were surveyed. Hopefully you're seeing here that we're really shifting the paradigm of the old IT services model, which was engineered for connectivity, to now being an AI-driven enterprise, being open and programmable, collecting telemetry, and then using AI-driven automation to provide insights and make that data accessible to non-experts. And at the end of the day, provide an optimized end-user experience. It's about delivering that proactive, predictive, and self-healing network. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully there's some questions in the chat. And as mentioned, reach out to your Westcon contact if you want to understand more about MIST. So Gareth, are there any questions?
I have a question for you, and I think a lot of people may be asking this. Can I get wide assurance on a third-party switch?
Yes. So as mentioned, we have a two-pronged approach to what we're doing around the wide. We're open in that you could have a MIST AP connected to a Cisco or an HP or a Meraki switch. And via LDP, we can get insights into power, PoE utilization, version mismatches, missing VLAN detection. So that's available on any switch. With the EX switches, you then get the Junos telemetry, which provides insights into my client devices, my wired clients having a good experience on their network, and then insights into the switch health itself.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And then just one other, I mean, obviously in Australia at the moment, where are you seeing progress with MIST? Sort of what sectors are really looking at the tech and benefiting at the moment?
So we're seeing it from the smallest customer to the largest customer. The smallest customer wants something that's simple and easy to use, and the fact that you just have an access point, you plug it in, it connects to the cloud, you're ready to go. That's really resonating with the SMB space. And with a large enterprise, it's about using those AI insights to streamline the ability to manage the network. Also, the ability to use our 100% API coverage to automate rollouts. So at scale, it's about improving efficiency. And at the SMB level, it's about providing a simple to use and simple to deploy network.
And then just one more here on Marvis. In terms of troubleshooting issues with performance, has there been thought on a larger scale, example for telecommunications providers delivering broadband, having access to AI features directly on client modems and identify problems?
Yeah, so Juniper's approach is going to be across AI across the whole enterprise. So whether that's a Wi-Fi or wired client as is today, but also when we bring in our SD-WAN portfolio and provide insights into that, that really allows us to get an application and WAN performance view and then begin to build out that end-to-end journey. Our vision for this is we don't care where you're accessing the network from, we don't care where you're going. We want to provide insights into the application performance end-to-end, leveraging AI and ML with Marvis.
No, excellent, man. Well, we haven't got too many more other questions, but I think we're running into the next session. But I just wanted to thank you, Matt, for your time. Much appreciated. Great to catch up again. And as Matt mentioned, please feel free to reach out to us at Westcon for anything with regards to MIST. We will be in touch, definitely, and look forward to catching up soon. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.